our scientists are doing a lot of that upfront work so that you can reduce the time that you spend on each new variant.
QIAGEN.
Sample to insight.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Alexander. I'm a certified genetic counselor and a project manager for professional services group here at QIAGEN Digital Insights. And I'm speaking with Aarthi. Aarthi, do you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Aarthi Goverdhan, the lead scientist for Oncology application development at QIAGEN Digital Insights. Chelsea, I'm really excited to talk to you about the Human Somatic Mutation Database, otherwise known as HSMD.
That sounds awesome to me. Can you tell me what is the Human Somatic Mutation Database, or HSMD?
HSMD is an online database for oncology that enables scientists to search, explore, and synthesize key findings about cancer-related genes, variants, clinical trials, and drugs from one single integrated database.
Can you tell me what information it holds for genetic professionals such as genetic counselors?
Sure. HSMD includes over 350,000 clinically observed variants from real-world oncology cases that were sent for interpretation to the QIAGEN Professional Interpretation Service. For these clinically observed variants, our team has assessed their clinical and biological relevance, calculated the mutational frequency across the observed tumor types, and each of these clinically observed variants have a detailed summary covering the functional impact of the mutation, the prognostic, diagnostic, and therapeutic relevance. Additionally, HSMD has another 1 million variants curated by PhD-level scientists from the literature and from databases, all of which have gone into the QIAGEN knowledge base. And HSMD includes a comprehensive bibliography for each variant, clinical trials, potential treatments, and general population frequency information. To top it all off, HSMD is really updated, and so you can be sure that it includes the latest information.
Aarthi, all that information sounds great. Could you speak a little bit about how HSMD might ease the literature review burden for individuals like genetic counselors? I know there's always a time crunch in clinic in trying to get the most up-to-date and accurate information to have those conversations with clients, patients, and their family members. Do you think HSMD could help?
Yeah, definitely. We've actually received feedback from variant scientists that have used HSMD, and we've collected that data indicating that not only does HSMD ease the literature review burden, but it greatly reduces the time that it takes a variant analyst to review novel variants. And this suggests that it could also ease the literature review burden on genetic counselors, because all of the pertinent information for a variant is in one page for quick and easy review. This greatly reduces the number of clicks. The variant page even includes link outs to other relevant databases like HGMD, ClinVar, and Nomad. So you don't need to have several tabs open. You can easily access all that information from one page. And for each variant, I've mentioned before that it includes mutational frequency information from clinical cases. It also includes the cancer association, potential treatments according to cancer type, and best part, it includes relevant clinical trials along with contact information. And you can also narrow down by geographical location and distance from your patient's location. And HSMD is incredibly powerful, largely because of all the work that goes on behind the scenes to make HSMD possible. There are over 100 PhD-level scientists doing manual curation of literature and publicly available data sets, and doing manual annotation of the clinically observed variants, adding confidence in the information that's shared with patients. And our scientists are doing a lot of that upfront work so that you can reduce the time that you spend on each new variant.
Aarthi, that all sounds incredibly wonderful. How does HSMD gather and organize the information it has for its users?
Yeah, our scientists curate information at two levels. One, they extract all clinically relevant data about cancer-associated variants from research articles and clinical studies. And two, our professional interpretation team manually assesses each clinically observed variant, characterizes their functional impact, assigns actionability classification according to the AMP ASCO-CAP guidelines, and finally summarizes that evidence for quick review.
That's awesome. What sets HSMD apart from other literature databases and resources that are out there for genetics professionals?
Chelsea, I can boil it down to two key points. One, curation by experts, and two, patient data. HSMD is a great way to access lab agnostic information about variants that have been observed in real world oncology cases. Our professional interpretation service receives cases from labs running different next generation sequencing panels and from various locations around the country.
I think having that information across labs, that lab agnostic information, sounds incredibly helpful. For example, if you're having a conversation about variants of unknown significance, which I had in clinic, it was always really hard to be confident that you're getting as much information as possible, or if it was that lab specific. So it sounds like it could be really helpful in those situations.
Yeah, definitely. And since we're talking about variants of uncertain significance, our scientists are manually annotating variants using all available evidence like functional studies and clinical studies and so on. And so when a variant is classified as a variant of uncertain significance at a given point of time, based on the evidence that is available at that point, the date when the evidence was last reviewed by our scientists is also included in the summary. So you can be confident about how recently the data has been reviewed for that variant. And I think this can really, provide more confidence and help guide that conversation with the patient or the provider about a variant of unknown significance, knowing that you have the most up-to-date information available. HSMD is very comprehensive. It includes variants from over 400,000 real-world oncology cases. And this data includes, cases from patients with early as well as very aggressive and advanced stage cancers. And so I think the diversity and the comprehensive nature of the data that's available in HSMD would be really very valuable to scientists and genetic counselors.
I think that all sounds amazing. Next question is, how could I try it out?
Chelsea, I'm glad you asked. It's really easy. You can sign up for a 5-day free trial right here.
Sample to insight.